Hello. Um, I've got a journal to read to you. I think before I do, I'll take just a moment and share a little bit of where I am. Friends, we're connected on, let's just call it inner dimensions. Um, the superficials of life make it look like we have these separate bodies and we don't really have anything to do with one another except the ones we're close to and yada yada yada. But that's just the surface. That's not the deeper reality. On the deeper reality, we're very much aware of one another, and so I think a lot of times we don't recognize how the ones we're close to and that we have an energetic connection with, and you can develop that energetic connection, for instance, just by watching somebody's video. And if you do watch a lot of their videos, then you've got a link. And so how that person is doing on some level deep inside of you, you're aware of that. And there's energy exchange that goes back and forth. We help and support one another on the inner. After all, if you really get down to it, we know one another. We came in together, and even though we've had the bulk of our conscious memory erased, reality can't just be wiped out, so it's also an illusion that we don't know these things. Anyway, so how I am doing can affect you, how you are doing can affect me. It's not going to be enough to shake you off of your path or really put you into a tailspin or anything, especially if you're someone who's got a good, strong path, a good heart connection, however you want to put it. And as a matter of fact, as awakening comes upon us, as more and more of the ego and the old way, the outer man, falls away, we can step into more and more awareness of these inner connections. The conscious mind initially may have only been 5%. We're pushing the boundaries of that now, because awakening, part of what it's doing is making more and more of what was subconscious and unconscious conscious. Okay, so all of that being said, I haven't been in a tailspin or deeply upset or anything like that. Nothing emotional, actually, nothing intense. But I've been exploring some new things, some new ways of being. And it's taken me into a focus on the third eye and the midbrain. And in order to do this work, I have left off the depth of my constant presence in heart. It's still there, but I haven't been focusing within it. Now, I don't know how much that plays a part. And then there's another thing that I've told you about this 21-day, it's not over yet, the 21-day joy experiment of Inelia Benz. It ends on the 29th of July, which is one reason, I want to get this up, just in case anyone else wanted to join, by just setting the intention to spend more time in joy during these last days of the experiment. Because we are connected. We do affect and influence one another. I mean, through the group mind, yes, even all those people that are strangers to our outer persona influence and affect us. But the light beings, much more so. They have an amped up quality to their energy. I guess you could call it power, but that's a funny word to put on it. And so they have a stronger influence, and we are the light beings. We did come in together. Okay, what else did I want to say? Oh, this whole thing with the intentional joy has also thrown me off. I was relatively stabilized in heart and for a long while, and perhaps I took that a little bit for granted, but I keep reminding myself intentional joy, and my energy lifts every time I do it. And there are many who are picking an hour and just setting that hour aside and saying, for this hour, this will be my focus. And maybe you don't have to just sit on the couch. Maybe it can be going for a walk with the cat or the dog, or, anything that brings you joy. And then just with the reminder, really feel the joy. I don't think that this needs to be limited to this 21-day experiment. Especially being aware that we're all connected. It might help some to be aware that it's not just for you that you do this. When you are in joy, it picks up the rest of us. It flows to the rest of us. We are united. We are connected. We are one. Each and every little thing we think, say, and do has an effect. But the power of joy, well, it's immense. And it's greater than a thought. So if you have felt a little off balance in some way or something, that's kind of how I've felt. Unsure of myself. My consciousness is just feeling different. And I haven't stabilized, but I'm coming to you anyway. Because if I wait until I'm stabilized, God knows when that'll happen. So here we go. This is the first one of my July journals. It's July 10th, first one of the day. And the day was 10 Crocodile, or Alligator. And I've got 3 nice links for you if you'll click over to the written journal. All right. On the day this was written, I said, it's day 2 of the 21-day joy experiment. Are you participating in any way? I don't necessarily mean formally doing the vlogging and all. Oh, if you don't know what this is about, it's a worldwide project started by Inelia Benz of Ascension101.com. I'm all for it, since I know what deep power there is in joy, as well as in simply just being. I guess I've got to say that it turns out pretty much everything we were taught as youngsters was off. It wasn't true. Right on up through college and beyond into society, the job, the world, and all of that. It's a house of cards, all right, built on a lousy foundation. What's fun, though, is that I'm not alone down here. There are so many of us lovers of truth incarnate now that we're making a noticeable difference, and that's awesome. Now, do keep in mind that you will only be able to see this if your particular beliefs allow you to. Every belief comes with its blinders of one sort or another, particular to that belief. For to believe in something means, by definition, to not believe in something else. To adopt a belief means to make a choice out of all of the options, always selecting a this at the expense of a that, or many that's. This whole setup, the faulty foundation not built on truth, goes right along with Pluto being in Capricorn right now. Why is that? Well, Capricorn, among other things, represents structures. For instance, in the body, it can represent the bones. In the earth, it can represent the minerals, all the very solid, seemingly sturdy stuff. Then along comes Pluto, both god of the underworld and also bringer of inescapable transformation, generally by tearing things down so they can be built anew. Combine the two and add in a dash of a square to Uranus, and we have a volatile mix, sure to bring down various structural things around our ears now and again. This aspect is with us into 2016, so I won't say get used to it. How can you? Just be aware that it's here and not in a hurry to exit. Personally, in every life, we can flow with us, with this. We can expect our own structures to get a good shaking. Now, we could fight this, of course, or we can choose another way, perhaps a higher way, and one that may even make things a good bit easier to handle. We can remember and choose joy in every case, yes, but not only that. We, on our own volition, can begin giving our basic structures a good going over, a deep looking into to see what may be right for change. In other words, we can cooperate. We can read the signs, as it were, and take the initiative. It reminds me of the Mercury retrograde thing. It doesn't have to control you. I don't go for that. There are people that won't make a decision while Mercury's retrograde. On the other hand, it's handy to know about so that you can allow a good bit more time to accomplish the things that you care about. I call that being reasonably realistic. Aside from the bones of your body, and of course, do remember you are not the body, be in heart with me here. What are the real structures of your life? Oh, I'm so excited as this just directly connected for me in this writing. It's our beliefs. Yes, I've said it again and again over the years in the journals that our beliefs structure our personal reality, structure our life, for our life is based on them, whether we know it or not. But that just came clear for me as relating to Capricorn and Pluto and the rest. So, the very most cooperative work you could do by way of harmonizing with this Pluto-Uranus aspect is to put on the gardening gloves and get out into your garden of belief, or get into it. Now, this also works well for Pluto, since our beliefs are not wholly conscious but reside in the subconscious aspects of mind. Pluto likes to go down very deep, being the god of the underworld. Further, as we look around at the current world situation, it's easy to see people's beliefs getting challenged left, right, and center. Now, some of this goes on in every age, but these few years, 2011 through 2016, will be a high point for beliefs being questioned, challenged, and knocked down. Okay, if that is the case, then it certainly helps out to know about it so that we're not left tilting at windmills, fighting battles we can't win. Along with Saturn, the lessons or experience Pluto brings are inescapable, as in no way over or under or around, but only straight through. Now, I like getting older as well, for we get a good bit more practical, having been through so much and tilted at a few windmills ourselves. So we know what that's like, how very useless it is, just wasting energy and making you grumpy. No thanks. Instead, I'm very much in favor of going for a divine sort of balance, capital B, and my intent is to bring that into every aspect of my life. And I'll just say here, just for fun, if you take my natal chart, my astrology, where all the planets are and the houses and all the rest of that, and put it on like a clock on a circle, and if you cut it in half, I have as many planets to the left as to the right. If you cut it across the line of the ascendant and descendant, I have as many above as below. There's an equality across fire, air, water, earth, all of it. It's a really surprising thing. So I think that's a reflection of this love of balance that's coming through here. This means that I want to harmonize with things whenever possible. I'd far rather go with the current than against it. And I'm sure Abraham Hicks would agree. So, by pulling up and discarding as many of those old beliefs as possible, I'm cooperating with the current flow, especially in these next few years. Be right back. Okay, back again. How exciting. Now, you who live in mind most of the time may not be able to identify with me, but living from heart pretty much all the time, and having given over or surrendered needing to know the why and wherefore of things, it is so very nice when something clicks like that. It's fun. It's heart thought. That's what it is. Some of those cardiac neurotransmitters doing their work, and it feels really great. Yes, of course, I will also admit that I'm very easily amused. Rather like a small child, I take an inordinate delight in things as they come to me or pass by. I don't even care to put on any sort of sophistication at all. It just wouldn't fit, you know? I'm a bit too silly, too lighthearted for that. Now, also, having a heavy-duty Capricorn sun placement, that can make me seem rather staid and steady and maybe even stodgy, I guess. Yet it's your ascendant, more than your sun, that people see when they look at you, and mine is in Sagittarius. Another rather serious sign. Oh well, I'm happy as a lark no matter what the outsides of my avatar may look like at any point in time. Just take it on faith. Now, maybe this will actually be a very short journal. Not many of them lately, with one coming close to the 1 hour mark, but I'm not keeping track. I don't look at the clock much, and certainly not when I'm recording. Yet, after not even 3 full pages, things are going silent within. So, let me be still a minute to see if I'm finished here. Yes, I am. It's enough to ponder and see if any of it fits. If you like, give it a go. It can't hurt to try out something new, and if you journal it, then you'll have the added benefit of that to keep you company in your old age. Good gracious, where did that come from? If anyone has any journaling questions I can help with, do leave it in the comments, and maybe I can lend a hand. I know this stuff I preached is all rather crazy at the start when you're morphing into a heart-centered life from the old mind-centric one. Mine will keep butting in, fighting for its continued reign over you, and that's a challenge, but one you can also enjoy. Namaste. Now, I put a couple of little asterisks here about the Mayan day. Mayan day 10 Crocodile is pretty powerful stuff for both the 10 and the Crocodile reduced down to a 1, the leader, the initiator of action, the adventurer. Crocodile is the first of the Mayan sun signs, which is likely just a convenience since it's a circular wheel type thing, but it still packs some evidentiary punch. And the 10 is for manifestation, bringing things that haven't yet made their appearance out into the open. we work through the prior 9 numbers just to get to this point where things tend to come together for us. So you can see how combining that with the first sun sign of Crocodile, which is the beginning of all things, makes for a very special day. See you again soon.